There is a lot of confusion surrounding student loans right now as major repayment changes take effect July 1st. Financial literacy expert Janae Adams joins us now to explain what borrowers need to know now and how they can prepare. Good morning.
Good morning.
Let's talk about July 1st. Why is there so much concern surrounding this date?
Yeah, so it's a 1.7 trillion with a T problem in this country, and thanks to the big beautiful bill, there are new changes that are coming out the July 1st that has borrowers scrambling. It has them panicking because they're trying to make sure they're not affected financially by these changes. So I kind of want to cover some of the biggest changes so that they can prepare.
Let's talk about the SAVE repayment plan. As we know, millions of folks are enrolled in this program. What do these changes mean for those borrowers?
Yes, so there are 7 million people in the SAVE repayment program. And those that don't know what SAVE is, SAVE was the most generous student loan repayment program that was available, and it was introduced under the Biden administration. The Trump administration has pretty much erased it. And so those borrowers now have to figure out where to go 90 days after they receive a letter that says they have to change. And if they don't change in time, they get put into the 10-year standard repayment. So I'm telling those in the SAVE program to prepare for higher payments because the SAVE program was the most generous one. It was the one that was actually going to help people pay their student loans back. So make sure that you get ready for those higher payments, get ready financially.
A lot of high school graduates, yes. they've recently graduated college. We got folks that are about to become seniors. What do these changes mean for families and students that want to maybe take out a loan after July 1st?
Yeah, so July 1st is that date that all the changes are going to happen. So anyone who takes out a student loan after that date, you will only have access to 2 repayment programs. And that's the new 10-year standard repayment program, as well as RAP, the repayment assistance plan, which is actually 30 years. And that is 5 to 10 years more than the current plans. What's also different is that those 2 new plans look at your adjusted gross income, unlike the current plans that look at discretionary income. So it's guaranteed that you're going to pay more on these newer plans. So those that do have to borrow money, because people do have to borrow money for college a lot of times, minimize your borrowing as best as you can.
So folks really need to stay in the know because this can be complex. What can people do to make sure they are not falling through the cracks with all these changes?
Yes. Definitely advocate for yourself. This is not a time for you to just let life happen to you when it comes to your student loans. So if you're a borrower with student loans, you need to be proactive in reaching out to your student loan servicer. If you can't get in touch with them, call the Department of Education, ask your questions there, and also report that loan servicer who you're not being able to contact with. Understand there are pretty much 43 million people with student loans. So those who are proactive, they're going to be the ones who are in the front of the line and get their answers from the questions that they do have.
In the commercial break, we were talking about this is just the tip of the iceberg.
Yes.
For folks who are watching right now, what can they start to do now to prepare?
So what you can start to do now to prepare is to understand that if you're a borrower and you're in repayment, more than likely your payments are going to go up. I've heard people go from $85 to now it's going to be $500 a month. So it's a big jump. You need to call the Department of Education, ask the questions you need to ask. Go to studentaid.gov because that is actually the right one so you don't get scammed and make sure you get the answers that you need.
All right. Thank you so much, Janae. This is very helpful information. And for anyone who wants to re-watch this segment, we will have it posted up on our website.